Hey guys, good morning. Kind of a little bit of a different video today. The one that I had made at the school just would not upload to YouTube, so I'm going to redo it at home and hopefully it'll be just as good. So today we're going to be talking about rewriting fractions using a common denominator. So you can see we already have our two fractions that are unlike because their denominators are both different. So our first step is to go ahead and write down the multiples of each of those denominators. So we have 3, and those multiples are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and we could keep going on and on. Our other denominator is 5, and so those multiples are 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I know I can stop because look at that. They both have 15 as a common multiple, and that is the smallest multiple that they have. Okay, so I'm going to use 15 as my new denominators, okay? So whenever you're doing this, let me rewrite this. I like to write these vertically when I do them. I'm going to go ahead and write the original next to it. So I need to figure out, how did this 3 become 15? Well, I know that I had to multiply it times 5 because it was the fifth multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And whatever you do to one of the numbers in the fraction, you have to do to the number at the top. So we'll multiply the numerator by 5, and that will give us 5. So here's our new fraction for 1/3. And you can also check to make sure that these are equivalent. So you could say 1 times 15 is 15, and 3 times 5 is also 15. So we're good to go. We haven't really changed the value of that fraction. We've just manipulated it to where we can use it having a common denominator. Okay, so now let's look at our second fraction. We have 5 going to 15. And if I look at my multiples of 5, I know that 5 times 3, 1, 2, 3, gave me 15. So 5 times 3, and what I do to the denominator, I also have to do to the numerator. So 2 times 3 will give us 6. And this is our second fraction rewritten with a common denominator. So let's go ahead and take these two fractions and let's add or subtract them. So we have 5 over 15 and we have 6 over 15, and we could just go ahead and add them. That would be 11 over 15, and we are good to go because 11 is a prime number and it cannot be reduced any further, and we are good. So there is one more way that I want to show you guys to do this. Always keep this in your brain, okay? These are the steps that you can use, all right? That is one method of doing it. But I want to take the same fractions that we had at the beginning, 1/3 and 2/5. And this is a different way to use the butterfly method if you like doing that. Butterfly, butterfly method. And what this does is, if you're looking at your two denominators and you can't really tell what their least common denominator would be because they're really weird numbers, you can do this. It's an easy method, but sometimes it makes you have to reduce to lowest terms quite often. So whenever you use the butterfly method, remember we are going to do our cross products. So we'll multiply 3 times 2. That will give us 6. Then we'll multiply 1 times 5. That will give us 5. So I need to keep these two numbers, okay? And then an extra step to this is you multiply those two denominators together, and they give you a new denominator, and that would be 15. So now I can take these different elements and rewrite my original fractions. So I would take 5 as the numerator, and then 15 as my denominator. And then I will have this other numerator and my denominator. And then you can do whatever the problem is asking you to do. Okay, I'll run through that one more time for you so you can see it again. Let's use some different fractions. How about 2/3 and 6/7? Okay, so remember, we do our cross products. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 7 is 14. And then we multiply our two denominators together, and 3 times 7 is 21. All right, so these numbers up here are our two numerators, and this number down here is our common denominator. So rewriting the fractions, it would look like this: 14/21 and 18/21. And there you have it.